Now we are going to discuss, actually revise Unit 2, Differential Calculus. Differential Calculus. What are all we are having, just we'll see that. We must know about what is differentiation. That is a definition I have given here. And the rules of differentiation you must know. Derivative of standard functions, differentiation of function, how we are going to differentiate the function inside the function. Okay, that is what differentiation of function. And logarithmic differentiation, how we are going to apply logarithm for differentiating the values. Differentiation of implicit function and the successive differentiation. Differentiation means will be knowing only d by dx, and the successive differentiation means we are going to increase the order. Okay, and partial differentiation. This is what we are going to see in our in this unit. Introduction. That is the main two types of calculus are the differential calculus and the integral calculus. Yesterday you have seen about integral calculus. Now we are going to see the differential calculus. The differential calculus. What is differential calculus? It is the branch of mathematics. It is a branch of mathematics which mainly based on the rate of change of function. What do you mean by rate of change? So from one place to moving to other place. So we'll be finding that the change. Okay. So we are going to find the derivative thing with respect to their variables, especially through the derivatives and differentials. And it was devised by Isaac Newton and G.W. Leibniz. Differentiation. Okay. What is differentiation? The rate at which the function changes with respect to the independent variable is called the derivative. So here I have mentioned it as independent variable. So independent variable means we must have the dependent variable also. Okay. So let us discuss about what is independent and dependent. So that's what I have given in the next line. If y is equal to f of x, be a function. If y is equal to f of x, be a function where x and y, that is we are writing y in terms of x. So where x and y are real variables. So they are real variables we have taken here, and in that x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. So depending on x only, we'll be getting the value of y. Depending on x only, we'll be getting the value of y. So that is what it called as dependent variable, and x can take any values on the real line. Okay, so that is called the independent and dependent variable. Then the derivative of y is denoted as d by dx, that is with respect to x, dy by dx. Okay, now we are going to see the rules of differentiation. Basically we are having only 3 rules. Based on that only we are going to proceed. Okay, one is addition or subtraction, the other one is product rule, and the next one is the quotient rule. What is addition or subtraction of a function? If f of x and g of x are two functions of x, then the d by dx of f of x plus g of x can be written as d by dx of f of x plus d by dx of g of x. Okay, and d by dx of f of x minus g of x is can be written as d by dx of f of x minus d by dx of g of x. So this is called the addition or subtraction of functions, right? Now the product rule. Product rule is we must have two functions, then only we can proceed with the product rule. So we are considering if y is equal to uv, where u and v are functions of x. So we must have u and v as a function of x. Then what we are going to do? We are going to differentiate with respect to x. So dy by dx, that dy is replaced here as uv. So duv by dx is equal to v into d by dx of u plus u into d by dx of v. So what we are going to do here? We are differentiating u, keeping v as it is. Okay, plus keeping u as it is and differentiating v. So that's what we got here is v du by dx plus u dv by dx. Okay. Next one is quotient rule. The quotient rule. So for quotient rule, quotient means we are talking about the division. Okay. So we are going to do the division rule here. So if u is equal to u by v. So we are taking the function as u by v form. Polynomial. Fraction form. Okay. So where u and v are functions of x. Here also u and v are functions of x. Then we can differentiate that with respect to that y with respect to x. So d by dx of u by v. Y is replaced here as u by v. Okay. So that is equal to v du by dx minus u dv by dx divided by v squared. I used to say always square the denominator first, and we are going to proceed with the numerator as we keep v as it is, differentiate q. Write v as it is on the numerator and write differentiate u minus write the numerator as it is, then differentiate v. So this is the quotient. Okay. So we have seen three rules: addition or subtraction, product, and quotient. This is what we are going to use in this differentiation. Okay. Next, I have given these derivative formula of some standard functions which you know already. I'll just give you some examples. D by dx of c is equal to 0. So if we are differentiating the constant with respect to x, constant with respect to any variable is equal to 0. Okay. And d by dx of x power n. So this is the general form I have given. So whatever x power n, whatever n value, you can use this formula to derive the derivative. So d by dx of x power n is equal to n x power n minus 1. D by dx of a power x is equal to a power x log a. Log means it is always to the base e, natural logarithm. Okay. And for the derivative of a power x, I have given the geometric representation, how the curve is deviating here. Okay. And the derivative of natural logarithm is also given here. That is d by dx of log to the base e x is equal to 1 by x. And if you are differentiating e power x, we are going to get e power x itself. Okay. There is no change in that. And differential of sin x is cos x. Cos x is minus sin x. Tan x is secant squared x. Cot x is minus cosecant squared x. Differential of secant x with respect to x is secant x tan x. All the derivatives are with respect to x because we are having the function in terms of x. Okay. D by dx of cosecant x is minus cosecant x cot x. And the inverse formulas also I have given. Wherever it is applicable, we'll be using it. Right? Next, how we are going to differentiate? We'll have the glimpse of the working rule. Okay. What we have to do? The given question is, in the given question, if they didn't mention the left hand side, just they have given as differentiate the function alone, then you have to consider the given function as y. So if you are considering the given function as y, then that y is depending on x. So y is a dependent variable and the given variable is the independent variable. Here I have given the example of the function as x. So I am giving it as y is dependent variable and the given variable is independent. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to apply the differentiation. So differentiate y with respect to the given variable. So that given variable may be x, t or u and so on. Okay. So we are going to differentiate y with respect to the given variable. And if it is a given variable x, then we'll be finding the derivative as dy by dx. Okay. And to differentiate the given function, what we have to do? We have to apply the rule of differentiation. What are the rules? Addition or subtraction, product rule or quotient rule. Some examples I have given. Okay. For the addition and subtraction rule. Differentiate 3 tan x plus 2 cos x minus e power x plus 5. So I have given some addition of functions. Okay. 4 functions I have given with the connective plus and minus. So what we have to do here? We have to apply addition rule. So what we have to do first? First of all, we have to consider the given function as y. Okay. So let y is equal to 3 tan x plus 2 cos x minus e power x plus 5. Then what we have to do? The given function is in terms of x. So differentiate. Y is the dependent variable, X is the independent variable. Now we are going to differentiate Y with respect to the given variable X. So what we'll get? Dy by dx. D by dx of this 3 tan x plus 2 cos x minus e power x plus 5 divided by dx. I have replaced y as 3 tan x plus 2 cos x minus e power x plus 5 divided by dx. Okay. And then what will you get? So we are just going to differentiate by using addition rule. So we can separate the functions. Separating the terms, we'll be getting 3 into d by dx of tan x plus 2 into d by dx of cos x minus d by dx of e power x plus d by dx of 5. After that, what we have to do? We have to apply the standard functions, standard derivative functions. Okay. So what is differential of tan x? Secant squared x. So that is what we have written here. 3 secant squared x. Differential of cos x is minus sin x. So we have written here minus 2 sin x. And differential of e power x is e power x itself. So we have written that function as it is. And what is the differential value of constant? It is equal to 0. Okay. So it is equal to 0. That's what I didn't write that 0 at the end of the answer. So the answer is derivative of y 3 tan x plus 2 cos x minus e power x plus 5 is equal to 3 secant squared x minus 2 sin x minus e power x. Okay. Next question for product rule. Now product rule means we must have function of x, g of x, f of x and g of x. So here I have considered f of x and g of x as e power 2x cos 3x. So differentiate y is equal to e power 2x into cos 3x. Okay. Well, already they have given y is equal to. So no need to consider it as y. Okay. In the previous question, they have just given the function. So we have denoted, we have written that is equal to y. Here, in the question itself, they have mentioned y is equal to. So it is understood that y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. So we have to differentiate y with respect to x. So what will you get? We'll get d by dy by dx is equal to d by dx of e power 2x into cos 3x. So which rule we have to apply? Product rule. Product rule is u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx. That is, if I am saying it as f of x and g of x, we have seen already f of x into d by dx of g of x plus g of x into d by dx of f of x. Okay. So here we kept cos 3x, g of x as it is, cos 3x into d by dx of e power 2x plus f of x as it is, e power 2x into d by dx of cos 3x. So what will you get? D by dx of e power 2x is 2 into e power 2x. Okay, 2 into e power 2x. So that's what we got. The first term as 2 cos 3x into e power 2x. And what is the differential value of cos 3x? It is minus sin 3x into 3. So the second term is minus 3 e power 2x into sin 3x. So the differential value of e power 2x into cos 3x is 2 cos 3x into e power 2x minus 3 e power 2x into sin 3x. Okay, have you got? Next, we'll proceed for the quotient rule. So for quotient rule means we must take it as u by v form. So here the question is differentiate y is equal to e power x by cos x. So already in this question also they have given y. So we are going to differentiate y with respect to x. Right? So differentiating y with respect to x, we will get dy by dx is equal to d by dx of e power x by cos x, u by v, quotient rule. What is quotient rule? You have to square the denominator and keep v as it is, du by dx minus u as it is, differentiate v. So dv by dx. So v du by dx minus u du by dx divided by v squared. So what will you get? So we kept cos x as it is, v cos x into differential of e power x is e power x minus u is e power x. E power x as it is, differential of cos x is minus sin x. Okay. So that is divided by v squared, cos squared x. So then we'll get the answer as simplifying cos x e power x, minus into minus becomes plus, e power x sin x divided by cos squared x. Okay. So e power x, for taking e power x common, we are getting in the numerator e power x into cos x plus sin x divided by cos squared x. So the answer of e power x by cos x differential value, the dy by dx value is e power x into cos x plus sin x divided by cos squared x. Right. Next, we'll see differentiation of function. Okay. So I have taken the example here as y is equal to 3x squared minus 1 the whole cube. See, just we are having it as the whole cube. Inside the function, we are having 3x squared. So we are going to differentiate that with function, right? So differentiating with respect to x. So the differential value of x cube. So which formula we are using here? D by dx of x power n, general form. N into x power n minus 1. Okay. N into x power n minus 1. So n is 3 here. 3 into, in the place of x, we are having 3x squared minus 1. The whole squared, n minus 1. Then what we have to do? Inside the function also, we are having the function. So 3x squared we are having. So we have to differentiate that 3x squared with respect to x. So we will get 6x. Okay. So 3 into 3x squared minus 1 the whole squared into 6x. Then simplifying that, I have expanded 3x squared minus 1 the whole squared. That we got it as 9x power 4 minus 6x squared plus 1 into 6x and 3 as it is on both sides. Okay. Then we have simplified. We are getting the answer as the derivative of 3x squared minus 1 the whole cube as 162x power 5 minus 108x cube plus 6x. Okay. So this is the answer. This is the differentiation of function. Then we are going to use logarithmic differentiation. So for that, we'll just see the procedure. That is a working tool. Okay. So as usual, we have to consider the given function is y. If they have already mentioned y is equal to, no need to consider. Okay. Then take log on both sides. We have to take log on both sides. So why we are taking log on both sides? If the function is with the if the function is of the transcendental form, we can't separate it easily. So if we are using logarithmic, we can apply log rule of multiplication, log rule of division, and the power rule of log to simplify the function. Because you know already, log of AB is equal to log A plus log B. So we can separate the function easily and then find the derivative. Okay. And log of A by B is equal to log A minus log B. Log of A power m is equal to m into log A. So this is what we are going to use. So that's why we are applying log on both sides. Taking logarithm on both sides and then using logarithm rule of multiplication, division and power rule, simplify the function. And then we have to apply the differentiation as usual. The differential rules, which we know already. The addition or subtraction rule, the product rule, and the quotient rule. That is what we are going to apply here. Okay. And you have to note that if the function itself has a logarithm, log on that given question, no need to apply log again. So you must have the given function as it is, logarithm as it is, and then use a log rule to separate. Then we have to find the derivative of the given function. Right? So we have to consider the given function as y, then taking log on both sides, apply logarithm rule, and then apply the derivative formula, differential rule, then the derivative formula. Right? This is the procedure. Now, we'll proceed one question for that, one or two questions for that logarithmic function. So here differentiate x power sin x. See, in this we can't apply the differentiation straight away, right? We are having the algebraic term with the trigonometric as a power. So we can't straight away find the derivative. So to find the derivative easily, here only we are going to apply the logarithmic function. Okay. So we have to consider y is equal to x power sin x, because in the question they didn't give y. So we are considering y is equal to x power sin x. Then the next step is taking log on both sides. Okay. So taking log on both sides, what will you get? Log y is equal to log of x power sin x. So here we have applied the log power rule. Log a power m is equal to m into log a. So that is what we have got here is sin x into log x. Now we have to apply the differentiation. So which rule we have to apply here? The product rule, because sin x into log x we are having f of x, g of x. Okay. Now we are going to differentiate with respect to x. So d by dx of log y is equal to d by dx of sin x log x. What is d by dx of log x? 1 by x. Log is the dependent variable. So log y derivative is 1 by y dy by dx. So that is what I have given here, 1 by y dy by dx. And then we have applied the product rule. So log x as it is, differential of sin x is cos x. Sin x as it is, differential of log x is 1 by x. So we have applied product rule. Now we need only dy by dx, derivative. So what we have to do? We must bring that y to the other side, right hand side. Okay, so we are going to bring that. So we'll be getting dy by dx is equal to y into log x into cos x plus sin x into 1 by x. And taking LCM here, dy by dx becomes y into x cos x log x plus sin x divided by x. Okay. Then simplifying. That is, we are replacing y as x power sin x. Okay. So dy by dx is equal to x power sin x into x cos x log x plus sin x divided by x. So this is the way we have to differentiate if the function is not in the easy way. Okay. So apply log and then proceed easily. You can apply product rule or division rule, whichever is applicable there. Okay. See this question. See, we are having y is equal to x power x raised to the power x up to infinity. So x raising to the power x up to infinity. For this we have to apply, we have to find the derivative. So how we can find that function with infinite power? So in this case, we have to apply log on both sides. So before applying log on both sides, we can consider y is equal to x raised to the power x up to infinity becomes x power y. Because again, if you are taking x raised to the power x is, that is y. So we are considering that as x power y. Now it is easy. If you are applying log on both sides, log y is equal to y into log x. Okay, y into log x. That is, here also we have used the power rule of logarithmic function. Okay, then differentiating with respect to x. Log y derivative is 1 by y dy by dx. So why we are getting dy by dx? Y is the dependent variable. So if you are differentiating y, we must write 1 by y dy by dx. Okay, and then here we have to apply product rule. So y as it is, differential of log x is 1 by x plus log x as it is, differential of y is dy by dx. Okay, now bring dy by dx terms together on the left side. On the left side. Okay, so what will you get? 1 by y minus log x into dy by dx. In the previous slide we got log x dy by dx, right? I am bringing that to the left hand side. So we'll be getting 1 by y minus log x into dy by dx. Okay. 1 by y minus log x dy by dx is equal to y by x. Okay. So simplifying this, taking the LCM on the left side, we'll be getting 1 minus y into log x divided by y dy by dx. That is equal to y by x. So dy by dx is equal to, bring that coefficient to the left side because we need dy by dx alone. So bring that coefficient on the left side to the other side. So that becomes reverse. 1 minus y log x by y becomes y by 1 minus y log x. So what we are getting? Dy by dx is equal to y by x into y by 1 minus y log x. So simplifying, we are getting dy by dx is equal to y squared by x into 1 minus y log x. So that is the answer. See, while seeing the question, you find it very difficult how we are going to differentiate. So if we are applying the logical thinking and logarithm on both sides, then you'll be getting the answer easily. Have you got? Now, in this question, see, the given question itself contains log. If the given question itself is with the logarithmic function, we are not supposed to apply log. Without applying log, just we have to differentiate that logarithmic functions, right? So given question is differentiate y is equal to log of x squared plus 1 by x squared minus 1. So what we have to do, which rule of logarithm is used here? Log of a by b. So log of a by b is equal to log a minus log b. Okay. Now differentiating with respect to x. We didn't apply log. So y is as it is. We are just applying the logarithmic rule because in the question itself we are having log. Okay. So y is equal to log of x squared plus 1 minus log of x squared minus 1. Differentiating with respect to x. Right. So what will you get? Dy by dx is equal to differential of log x is 1 by x. So we are considering the whole term as the single variable and written that as 1 by x squared plus 1. Okay. And inside that function of function differential value. So we are applying log here as well as a function of function. Okay. So 1 by x squared plus 1 derivative formula. Then x squared plus 1 derivative is 2x. Plus 1 is a constant, so that becomes 0 with respect to x. So differential of x squared is 2x. Okay. Minus the same way. Log of x squared minus 1 also taken as x squared minus 1 should be taken as the single variable. So if we are considering that as a single variable, log of the single variable is 1 by that variable. So 1 by x squared minus 1 we have written, and then the derivative of the function inside that log. X squared minus 1. So what will you get? It is 2x. Okay. Now dy by dx is equal to, both the term has 2x. So we can take it as common. So taking 2x common and simplifying. 1 by x squared plus 1 minus 1 by x squared minus 1. So if we are having the denominators two terms, take it as LCM and then simplifying, we are getting the dy by dx value as 2x into minus 2 by x power 4 minus 1. So at last simplifying, dy by dx is equal to minus 4x by 4x power 4 minus 1. So this is what we have to proceed for logarithmic function, right? Now differentiation of implicit function. So now we are going to differentiate implicit function. So first of all we must know what is implicit function. Implicit function means if x and y are connected by the relation f of xy is equal to 0. And if we cannot express one variable in terms of the other directly, if we cannot express one variable in terms of the other variable directly, then that function is called implicit function. Okay. So implicit function means you must have that function of x comma y. X and y are combined together. Okay. X comma y is equal to 0. We can't separate the function directly. If it is so, then it is called the implicit function, right? And for that, the implicit function rule is consider the given function as it is, because already the function consisting x and y. So no need to consider the given function as y. Already it is in terms of x and y. But here we have to consider as y as the dependent variable. Always y as the dependent variable. Okay. So given function as it is and apply the differential rule separately for each term. Okay. Differential rule is addition or subtraction, product rule, or quotient rule. These three rules will be using. Using that rule, we can find dy by dx. Okay. Now we'll see the problem. Find dy by dx. If x cube plus y cube is equal to 3axy. Okay. See, if we are bringing the 3xy to the left hand side, we can write that as function of xy is equal to 0. So by this way, we can understood that it is the implicit function. If you want to check also, you can check. We can't express y separately in terms of the other variable x. We can't separate x and y here. So by that way also you can say that it is implicit function. So now what is the procedure? We are going to consider the given function as it is. Okay. We are going to consider the given function as it is. No need to consider it as y is equal to. Already y is there. So x and y exist. We are going to differentiate with respect to x. And y is the dependent variable. Okay. Y is the dependent variable. So differentiating with respect to x, what will you get? X cube differential value. So which standard function we are applying here? X power n. Differential of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. So that is what we have applied here and we got it as 3x squared. Okay, differential of x cube is 3x squared. And differential of y cube. We are not supposed to say y as the constant with respect to x. Y is dependent variable. Okay, so differential of y cube. Here also we have to apply x power n formula. So we are getting 3y squared into dy by dx. We are writing dy by dx because y is depending on x. So we are differentiating y with respect to x. Okay, is equal to, on the right hand side, we are having 3a, it is a constant, into xy. So that constant is multiplied with the variables. So we are going to take the constant outside as common, 3a, and then xy. So here we have to apply the product. So keeping x as it is, differentiate y. So x into dy by dx we are getting. Plus keeping y as it is and differentiate x. Okay, differentiate x. So what will you get? Differential of x is 1. Right? So on the right side, we are getting 3a into x dy by dx plus 1. Then we are going to simplify. Simplifying and get dy by dx alone on the left side. Okay. So we have to bring all the dy by dx term together on the left side. Other terms on the right side. Okay. So what will you get? 3y squared into dy by dx. I have written the left side term as it is. And I am bringing the right side term 3ax dy by dx to the left side. So that becomes minus 3ax dy by dx. Okay. And the right side, the other term from the left side, 3x squared on the right side, will be getting it as 3ay minus 3x squared. Okay. Now take dy by dx common. Taking dy by dx common, we are getting it as 3y squared minus 3ax is equal to 3ay minus 3x squared. I have written the right hand side as it is. Only on the left side, taking dy by dx common. Okay, then dy by dx is equal to, bring that left hand side term on the right side. So dy by dx is equal to 3ay minus 3x squared divided by 3y squared minus 3ax. All the term containing 3. So we can take 3 common outside and cancel from both numerator and the denominator. So we are getting dy by dx is equal to ay minus x squared divided by y squared minus ax, right? So dy by dx we got for the implicit function. Okay, we'll proceed to next part. The next part is successive differentiation. How we are going to proceed? Successive differentiation. Successive differentiation means we are going to differentiate again and again and again. Okay, differentiate again and again. So differentiating again and again, the order will be increasing. Okay, so the process of differentiating the given function again and again is called the successive differentiation. Successive differentiation. So you can find up to nth order also. So in derivatives of nth order, we are going to proceed here. So how we can denote that? So the notations I have given. Already you know dy by dx. That is the first order. One time we are differentiating. Okay. So if you are differentiating again, so that becomes d squared y by dx squared. The notation is d squared y by dx squared. So 2 times we are differentiating. So we are getting the order as 2. Again, if you are differentiating, there is 3 times we are differentiating. So that becomes d cube y by dx cube. So we can proceed up to the nth order, whatever n value is. So in general, we must know what is the nth order derivative. Nth order derivative is d power n y by dx power n. Okay, have you got? So if you know the nth order, whichever order is asking in the question, you can proceed after that. Okay, we can also denote the derivatives in the other forms which I have given in 0.2, 3, 4, 5. What is 0.2? It is denoted as f dash of x. It is the derivative of the function. Okay, if the function is given, f of x is given, and we have to find the derivative means, we can write it as f dash of x. And if we are finding again the derivative of the given function, that is second time we are finding, means that becomes f double dash of x. And third time if you are finding the derivative, means it is f triple dash of x. So what will be the nth order? Nth derivative of given function f of x. So f power n of x we have given, but it is the nth order derivative. Okay, you must know that clearly. Then we can also denote it by capital D. Capital D always denotes d by dx. Capital D always denotes d by dx. Okay, so that's what we have mentioned here as dy, d squared y, d cubed y. So what will be the nth order? D power n y. Okay, and we can also write y, even if y is given, no need to write always dy by dx. We can also express it as y dash, y double dash, as we have mentioned in f dash, mentioned as f dash, f double dash. Okay, y dash, y double dash, and so on. So what is the nth order derivative then? Y power n. Okay, nth order derivative is y power n. And the derivatives are also expressed with the suffix. If I am denoting this, you'll be using in the numerical methods. We used to use that y1, y2, y3, and so on. It is used in numerical methods. We used to write like that only. We won't write y dash, y double dash, all these. If it is y1, it is the derivative, first order derivative. Y2 means second order derivative. So what will be the nth order derivative? Yn. So the nth order derivative, we can find it by using the previous derivative value. Okay, so this is the notation of successive differentiation. If we are proceeding the differentiation again and again, that is called the successive differentiation. We'll proceed problems, right? Okay. Before proceeding the problem, I have given the nth derivative of some standard functions also. If you know this results, you can straight away apply that. No need to find it again and again up to the nth term. Just if they have asked, for example, e power mx, find the derivative up to the 10th order. 10 times, no need to differentiate. There is a lengthy procedure. So if you know the standard result, nth derivative, you can apply straight away the formula and replace n in terms of n. 10, n in terms of 10. Okay. See, e power mx is equal to the nth order is n times we are going to differentiate. So first time we'll be getting e power ax is a into e power ax. Second time is a squared e power ax. So if it goes on up to nth derivative, that becomes m power n e power mx. Okay. And similarly, ax plus b the whole power m is m minus 1, m minus 2, and so on, m minus n minus 1. Always one term lesser than n we should write. Okay, we can't proceed with m minus n up to that m minus n. Oh, m minus 1, m minus 2, and so on, m minus n minus 1 into a power n, ax plus b the whole power m minus n. Okay, if m should be greater than n. M should be greater than n, right? So 1 by ax plus b derivative is minus 1 the whole power n factorial a power n by ax plus b the whole power n plus 1. And log function, log of ax plus b, nth derivative is minus 1 the whole power n minus 1, n minus 1 factorial a power n by ax plus b the whole power n plus 1. Sine of ax plus b and cos of ax plus b is given. You can remember these two formulas easily, and the combining 1 by ax plus b and log of ax plus b, you can combine and remember easily. Only slight difference is there. For sine of ax plus b, you are having a power n into sine of n pi by 2 plus ax plus b. And cos of ax plus b is only cos, instead of sine, we are having cos, the same terms. Okay. Now we'll proceed from if x is equal to a into cos t plus t sin t. y is equal to a times sin t minus t cos t. And we have to find d squared y by dx squared. See, in this question, x and y are given in terms of t, but they have asked to find d squared y by dx squared, y with respect to x derivative up to the second order. So 2 times we have to differentiate y with respect to x. So if we are getting in this way the question, that is x and y are in terms of t and we have to find y in terms of x, the derivative of y in terms of x. So at that time, we have to proceed with respect to x, t first, and then find dy by dx. So what we have to do? We have to differentiate x and y with respect to t, and then find dy by dx. How we can find dy by dx? If we are dividing dy by dt by dx by dt, then that gives you dy by dx. In both the denominator we are having dt, that dt gets cancelled, then we'll be getting dy by dx. Okay, so that's what I have mentioned here. Since x and y are function of t, differentiate with respect to t first. First of all, we have to differentiate with respect to t. So differential of dx by dt. I have written that a as it is. Differential of cos t is minus sin t. Plus, in the second term, we are having t sin t. So t sin t means we have to apply product rule. So keeping t as it is, differentiating sin t. So we'll be getting t cos t. And keeping sin t as it is, differentiating t. Okay, so sin t will be getting sin t into 1. So we are getting a into minus sin t plus t cos t. Okay, and then what is dy by dt? Same way we have to proceed. A outside as it is because it is in the multiplicative form. So we are writing it as the coefficient. So we are writing the coefficient as it is. Okay. So a into differential of sin t is cos t minus, here also we have to apply. For the second term we have to apply the product rule. T cos t we are having. So differentiating t, we are getting 1. So 1 into minus cos t. So just we have written here is minus cos t plus t as it is. Actually, we must write minus t as it is. Differential of cos t is minus sin t. Okay, so minus sin t into minus t becomes plus t sin t. We are getting. Now, what we have to do? We have to divide dy by dt by dx by dt. Okay, so we'll be getting dy by dx. So just I have mentioned here, dy by dx is equal to dy by dt divided by dx by dt. And writing a into dy by dt term is a into cos t minus cos t plus t sin t divided by dx by dt term a into a times minus sin t plus t cos t. See, while writing this, be careful. You have to write in the numerator dy by dt term and in the denominator dx by dt term. Okay, and simplifying we are getting tan t. So if you know dy by dx is equal to tan t, how we can find d squared y by dx squared? Again, this dy by dx is in terms of t. So we can't differentiate. D squared y by dx squared means we are differentiating dy by dx again with respect to x. Is it possible to differentiate the t variable t with respect to x? We can't proceed straight away. So we are going to write that d by dx as d by dt into dt by dx into dt by dx. So that's what I mentioned in the last row. D squared y by dx squared is equal to d by dt of dy by dx into dt by dx. So now we can differentiate tan t with respect to t. So tan t differential value is secant squared. How will you write dt by dx? Dt by dx is nothing but the reciprocal of dx by dt. So that is at cos. So what you are getting as the answer? 1 by at cos cube t. I have written secant squared as 1 by cos squared. So we are getting d squared by dx squared is 1 by at cos cube t. Okay. Now next one is find the nth derivative. For the nth derivative, we must proceed one question, right? Find the nth derivative of log of 9x squared minus 1. See, here we are having y is equal to, so but they didn't mention y. So what we are going to do? Let us assume y is equal to log of 9x squared minus 1. It is of the form a squared minus b squared, log of a squared minus b squared. So what we can write with that? You know what is a squared minus b squared. A squared minus B squared is log of A plus B into A minus B. Here A squared is 3x the whole squared, B squared is 1 squared. Okay, so 3x the whole squared can be written as 3x plus 1. 3x squared, 3x the whole squared minus 1 squared can be written as 3x plus 1 into 3x minus 1. So that is what I have given in the first line. Y is equal to log of 9x squared minus 1 is equal to log of 3x plus 1, 3x minus 1. Now, what we can do? We'll apply logarithmic rule, log product rule. Log of AB is equal to log A plus log B. Okay, so that is what we have written here. Log of 3x plus 1 plus log of 3x minus 1. Then what we have to find? We have to find the nth derivative. So nth derivative, see, I have denoted here as yn. In the third line, I have denoted the nth derivative of y as y suffix n. So that is also one notation we have seen in that notations slide. So yn is equal to nth derivative of log of 3x plus 1 plus nth derivative of log of 3x minus 1. What is the nth derivative formula? We can't find the n times because it is a general term we have given. You know the nth derivative formula, log of ax plus b. Nth derivative is minus 1 the whole power n minus 1 into n minus 1 factorial divided by a power n divided by ax plus b the whole power n plus 1. Okay, so this is what we are going to apply here. Wherever we are getting a and b, replace that a and b as 3 and 1. So I have written here itself using log of ax plus b is equal to minus 1 the whole power n minus 1 into n minus 1 factorial into a power n divided by ax plus b the whole power n plus 1. Okay, so just using this, replacing a as 3 and b as 1 in the first term, that is ax plus b, 3x plus 1 the whole power n minus 1 and 3x minus 1 the whole power n plus 1. Okay, this is what the nth derivative of log of 9x squared minus, right? This is the nth derivative. Next one is the last part of this unit, partial differentiation. Partial differentiation. You know differentiation now. What is partial? Partially we are doing part. For each part we have to do. It is not like that. We are proceeding partially with respect to the variable. Right? So we are proceeding partially with respect to the variable. So if you are applying the partial differentiation, the function must be more than one variable. Okay, the function must be more than one variable. Then only we can apply the partial differentiation. Then only we can apply the partial differentiation. Okay, so that's what here I have considered the given function z is equal to f of xy. So z is a function of two independent variables. If the variables are on the right side variables are independent variables. The left side variable is dependent variable. Okay, so z is a dependent variable and x and y are independent variable. Right? So what we are going to do? We are going to differentiate with respect to the independent variable. We are going to find the independent variable.